Hi everybody, Inonge Kabele here. Welcome to my channel, Questioning Thoughts. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment if you feel so inclined. I love comments because you know what? We progress when we dialogue with each other and debate and put out our different ideas. I mean, that's how we've always moved forward. Anyway, I there's something that's been on my mind for a very long time now, and I figure might as well talk about it. Um, so this, first of all, isn't it interesting how with the media there are these trends, and we human beings, especially when we're not really grounded in principle, it's very easy to get swept up in trends that come like waves. Um, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that that's just how we are. Anyway, so there's been in the past few years this trend for critical race theory, and it's considered to be, the wisdom of our day and age. And anybody who questions it is, backwards or whatever. So, there's critical race theory, and then there's social justice, even though I haven't really heard that term, social justice, or the phrase social justice warrior much lately. Maybe it's just because of where I am and who I'm listening to and paying attention to, because, it's like we're all in these bubbles, right? And some of us live in multiple bubbles at once, but we basically live in bubbles and echo chambers. That's just the way it is, and it's always been that way. We are tribal by nature. So there is critical race theory, there's social justice, there are these theories um, out there about Black people and Black authenticity and keeping it real and who Black people really are. And the narrative is that all Black people are oppressed, always have been, always will be, and white people should make it their life's purpose to make up for that. Even as much as they try, they'll never be able to make up for it, right? I'm not saying it's good or bad, it is just what it is. You get to choose whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, if that works for you. If that mindset, if that belief system is actually helping you to progress in life, helping you to feel connected and safe and all of that, then more power to you. But for me, it doesn't. It just doesn't work for me at all. Um, and I've spoken with my family and my kids many different times and my friends about this. So this is where I'm coming from. These are my questioning thoughts. I'm just putting it out here, out there, right? If it resonates with you, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's okay. Um, so even if, even if white supremacy is as bad as they say, and I believe that there is such thing called white supremacy, but when I drill down, and I've written about this before, to me it's more of a tech supremacy. It's beyond white supremacy. And Black people can be supremacists. Everybody can be a supremacist. Tribalists can be supremacists. But anyway, even if white supremacy is as terrible and as bad and as all-encompassing and ubiquitous as they say, I personally refuse to believe in that. So what do I mean by that? I refuse to believe in it because believing in it gives it power, right? And so when I decide, okay, I'm going to believe in this is what happens to me, for me. I believe in it. I take it seriously. Next thing I know, I'm feeling kind of down. I'm feeling kind of depressed, a little bit despondent, and a little bit of like, why try, right? Why try? Um, the odds are stacked against me. There are people who consciously think the odds are stacked against me. The whole system is stacked against me. Why try, right? Um, and then, so when I think about it, when I take this concept seriously, then I go back in time and I remember, the cartoons and the, like all of the stuff that was in the news and entertainment media that depicted Black people as, less worthy or not worthy or subhuman, right, as monsters. That makes me feel terrible. Then I fast forward back to our day and age, and I think about all the stuff that's in the media and entertainment that depict us as not fully human in an entertaining way and also on the media. And then I think about how the media reports on, um, the crime and the gun violence in the black community and young men shooting each other dead. And I feel terrible. Are you getting, are you like tracking with me? Um, and it's depressing. And I feel powerless because I know that there is this school of thought that doesn't regard me as a human being. I am part of a collective. I'm part of a collective whole. I'm part of this amorphous collection of, as they say, black bodies, right? And our story is the saddest, most sobby, most tragic story ever. And what's even worse about that is that when it comes to actually the real systemic ills that are in black communities, I'm not going to say the black community because there's not one black community, but in certain pockets of black communities, the very people who claim to love us so much and who claim to make it their life's mission and work to help us overcome turn a blind eye. They don't blink. They have absolutely no emotion. They seem to have absolutely no heart for the real struggles of black people currently in the here and now. So when I even contemplate thinking about maybe the possibility of taking on this mindset in the world, I feel depressed. I feel helpless. I feel like there's no use trying. And I feel incapacitated. It's debilitating. And so, for those reasons, I don't find it useful for me to take on that mindset. And so, when I think about other people who are very much like me, I can't imagine how they find it useful too. Now, maybe they have some way, they've figured out a way to have that mindset be a useful one for them personally. I think that those people are absolutely extraordinary, super smart human beings who can simultaneously, over time and consistently hold two very opposing points of view and still build and still be productive. Um, but more power to them. But me, I'm just a very kind of like pragmatic, practical, ordinary person. What I know is, regardless of what our skin shade is, I'm not going to say color because melanin is one color. Whether, regardless of our skin shade, regardless of how much melanin we have or we don't have, regardless of our own personal histories, our family histories, the histories of our ethnic groups, our places of origin, regardless of our religion or belief systems, we all suffer under things like what's the word? Imposter syndrome. That term, imposter syndrome. We all suffer from feelings of unworthiness and not fitting in and not being understood and not being accepted. We all suffer from that. We all struggle with learning new skills and keeping up with the new skills. And we're under pressure to keep up with the Joneses and on and on and on and on and on. So, like, why take on, it's not useful to me. Why take on a belief system that is like, it's like going to a therapist and paying them a lot of money. And instead of the therapist saying, okay, Inange, what you need to do is, okay, the past is the past, nothing you can do about it, water under the bridge, forgive it as much as you possibly can, but use your mental and your physical and your cognitive energy and your emotional energy and your heart to building the world that you want to live in, and thinking about personality, the word personalities, possibilities, right? And connecting with people and building bridges, building bridges between people shades, right? People groups, ideological, philosophical bridges. That's what's, like, why would I pay a therapist? Why would I pay a therapist to basically, what's the word? Emotionally abuse me? Because there's the abuse that happened, right? There's the original abuse. It could be an emotional or physical abuse that happened. And then there's the stuff that comes after that. So if there's anybody in my life who tells me I'm unworthy, or I can't do it, or the world is out to get me, and people are, and oh, remember that terrible thing that happened to your ancestors, um, you know, it's not useful. So yeah, so it's like for me, it's life is tough enough already. We all know this. It's the time. There are only 27 hours in a day. The time is limited. Sometimes we don't have the skills. We don't have the resources. We don't have the connections. We don't have the friendships. We don't have the support. We don't have whatever. And we have to scrabble, and we have to like hustle, and we have to make it happen anyway. You know. Another thing is that when it comes to the history of Black people in the world, and the history of Black American people, and the history of people of African descent, I'll just say specifically because that's what I am mostly. I'm I'm Soto descent, and I'm Black American Texan descent. Black Texan descent. Yeah, I said it. So what? But anyway, it's like when I look at the history of my people groups and my ancestors, it is amazing. It's glorious. I mean, the things that we have accomplished and overcome, the things that we've invented, the things that we've built, the things we've created, how inspiring we are, our deep faith in God and community and family, and we've overcome so many things. And what we have created far, far, far overshadows the terrible things that were done to us because people were ignorant and they were greedy, and they justified their greed by dehumanizing us. We don't even have to take it personally. But really, right now is the time more than ever, because tech is seems to be leaving us in the dust. Information technology, biotechnology, their technology is literally leaving all of humanity in the dust, and there's just a tiny percentage of people who are like really, really benefiting from it. And then there are many people who in this moment are benefiting from it. But if we don't come together, and if we don't seek first to understand before we're understood, we're in a lot of trouble. Sad to say. Another thing is that I absolutely believe that there is absolute goodness and there is absolute truth. And it's not easy to be on a path to find that absolute ultimate truth, because on the way there, we often have to sacrifice many, many things. Our opinions, maybe our reputations, our good names, our jobs, our businesses, our communities, our family relationships. You get it? Like, sometimes we have to be willing to let all of those go in order to bring the truth to light, to ultimately save more people and save more lives, if we love to that level, to that depth. So that's what I want to say about that. I'll just wrap it up succinctly one more time. Even if white supremacy is this terrible, terrible thing, as terrible and as bad as they say it is, I do not consent to that. I refuse to play along with that, because the moment I begin to play along is when I feel really terrible about myself, and I feel like why do anything? It's hopeless. It puts me into a very deep depression very, very quickly. And if I'm not very depressed about it, then I'm very angry about it. And you know, we humans, we have a tendency to do very rash, stupid things when we're angry and we're scared. And I absolutely refuse to live in that bubble. That's it for now. Thank you so much for hanging in with me. Till next time, bye.